Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. So today we are going to talk about Legion. My impressions of Legion. Is Legion going to be any different than WoD? So I think we can all agree that Warlords of Draenor was not the best expansion that Blizzard has put out, and we've kind of noticed this trend with Blizzard with World of Warcraft to just not caring as much, not focusing as much on what the players want, and they are focusing more what they want and development and things like that. Which Blizzard is Blizzard; they're going to do what they're going to do. The players have little to no say in any matters at the moment. This comes down to a private server that was taken down by Blizzard, and due to the fact that they just wanted to take it down. It wasn't doing any harm to anybody. They weren't taking donations. Nothing was happening. They just felt it was the right thing for them to take down this server for something that a lot of players have wanted. They've been wanting these old school servers, the vanilla servers, the TBC servers, the Wrath of the Lich King servers, and Blizzard has said that we don't want those. Even though we say we do want something like this, and they say you don't want this. That's just, it kind of is what it is there. You can kind of see where Blizzard is on that subject. Now, they have tried to do time walking, which time walking is ridiculous. Time walking is a good concept. I see where they're going with it, but with all the new abilities and everything, with they can't scale it right. It's not what it used to be. At all. It's really embarrassing when I'm a TBC player. That's when I started, and it's very embarrassing when you go into some of these dungeons and they're as easy as they are, and which is kind of funny because what we're wanting out of World of Warcraft, I don't think we're getting. We're wanting progression. We're wanting things to be a little bit harder, and I understand that there are very few mythic guilds out there that are very competitive, and a lot of us players that are playing in heroic mode aren't playing in mythic mode, so because mythic mode is a lot harder. So I can't say that World of Warcraft is getting easier, because I think it is actually getting harder when you're looking at these mythic raids and things like this. But the fact of the matter is, the mythic raiders are a small percentage because it's a mythic raid. These players that want to progress in the mythic raids are doing the normal, are doing the looking for raid, are doing the heroic mode, and then they're going to go to mythic mode. So it's not, I don't feel it's a progression as much as Blizzard wants us to think it is. I think it's more of a just repeating content over and over and over with a few more mechanics. It's not that it's a progression as a guild where you're going through, Karazhan, and then you go to, Gruels, and then Mags, and so on, and you guys are progressing as a guild, as a team, and giving that, hey, let's get some more players, let's get into these this 25-man dungeon, let's invite some people, we'll go and do this. You can do that with Mythics, but the problem is, it's the same raid that you've been raiding. It's not anything new, and I think that's a big problem. In Legion, we're gonna have the same exact thing. We're gonna have the dungeons. We're gonna have the raids that are the same exact raids, just different difficulties. And it's I miss the days where Oldar, it was amazing because you could actually set the fight to heroic by doing a certain mechanic. I like that. And there was certain things that they did right and they completely just didn't care about anymore. So I wish there was something to that extent where you can go into this raid, and if you can choose the difficulty through the fight, if you guys want to push this, if you want to kill that hard 100%, it throws it into mythic mode or whatever you want to call it, but not have 3-4 different difficulty settings, which it looks like we'll be getting in Legion. Legion looks like it has a lot of pruning to a lot of the core abilities also. Whether that is a functionality thing, whether that is just they want a certain class to play a certain way, so be it. But some of the spells that they are pruning are very important spells to certain classes. A lot of nostalgia, I guess you could say, but a lot of core things that are getting taken out that are very interesting to a lot of players, and a lot of players are upset about that. So when we look at Legion overall, I think when we go into Legion, I think it's going to be the same old thing that we're already getting. A lot of us didn't like the garrison, just sitting in the garrison, being in it all the time, and they've already kind of announced not a garrison setting, but something similar to it. We wanted player housing, they gave us garrisons. We wanted player housing, they gave us order halls. They're not giving the players what we actually wanted in the first place. They're giving a substitute on something that they think will be good for the player rather than what the player actually wants, because we're not sure what we're wanting, if Blizzard had anything to say about it. So now this is a hard one for me because Illidan was such an iconic figure, and TBC, and that's when I started, and I never made it to Black Temple because that was my first raiding experience. I just, the guilds, where when you progressed in TBC, if you saw a tier 6 anything, you were like, wow, look at that. That's amazing. That's what I want to be. And that's what pushed players to raid. You don't get that anymore. And I never made it to Illidan, but Illidan is like I said, an iconic character in World of Warcraft and Warcraft history, really. So they're bringing him back for nostalgia trips, which is cool. I really appreciate that. But what are they doing? Players have wanted a Warcraft 4 for such a long time, and I understand World of Warcraft is somewhat a Warcraft 4-ish, but I would love a Warcraft 4. Give us an amazing story that we can go play through and see all these new villains and new characters, and then introduce them into World of Warcraft, kind of like they did in the first place. So we know the stories. We know what's to be expected. We've walked the footsteps of this journey already, and then we're itching to be, all right, they're gonna bring this out. Yes, this is exciting. We don't get that anymore. Now we're getting we missed a Pandaria, which I feel was a really good expansion. I didn't mind the expansion, but for lore and stuff, it was just kind of out there. And then we got Warlords of Draenor, which just completely was just, it was what it was. And then we're getting Legion, which is Illidan's coming back. There's so many things that Blizzard can do. I just don't understand why they're not trying to do it. I don't know if Legion is going to be the WoW savior, as a lot of people think. I think people will subscribe to Legion and see that it's the same exact old thing that Blizzard does, and I don't think that it's going to be anything different. The biggest complaint for old school players is WoW is too easy. And when you're looking at leveling, when you're looking at quests, when you're looking at lockouts, when you're looking at even getting your mounts, getting gold, everything is so much easier in World of Warcraft. The raiding content, the PvP content, I think has grown, but the overall functionality of the game is just, it's pretty easy. We can now buy a level 100 if we want to for, I think it's $60, instead of grinding it out, learning the class. You used to get your mount at level 40. You have to wait till level 40, and you were grinding it out to get to that spot, and you felt achieved when you got to level 40. You're like, I can finally have a mount. It was just a completely different game, and it was fun. It was grindy, but I think a lot of the hardcore fans like that. The hardcore fans are the players that aren't playing right now. Your casuals will always come and go, the people who just want to play. But the hardcore fans will always be there if you give them something to actually do. Legion just doesn't look like it's going to be that. Legion looks like it's going to be another Warlords of Draenor, and I apologize for using Warlords of Draenor as a scale, but I just don't see, I don't think Blizzard understands what they're doing to this game. They have to look at the numbers, but the problem is they're looking at money they're making from the game, and with the WoW tokens, with the mount sales, with the cosmetic sales, with everything, WoW is probably having a great year. But the players are all suffering. We've been stuck in content in Warlords of Draenor for such a long time, and they haven't given us anything. We're waiting for this Legion whatever it's going to be, and that's a far way off because they're going to push it back until the movie released, and then they're going to push Legion out right after that. You know, it's just, I understand business, but they got to give the players something. The players that are subscribed right now are the players that will continue to support you, but they're all suffering, and you don't care about those players that continuously pay a monthly fee for a game that we're repeating content over and over and over. I don't know how many hundreds I have, how many alts I've rolled. There's only so much these players can do, and Legion doesn't look any different. Cosmetically, it looks amazing. We got a new class, we got a lot of new stuff, but we'll see what happens. Alright guys, what do you guys feel? I'm just, as you guys can probably tell, I'm a little frustrated with everything that's been going on with Blizzard, but you know, I'm still supporting, I'm still paying my monthly fee, I'm still making videos for World of Warcraft, which is a huge advertisement for them. Anybody that's making videos for WoW, it's just, you know, it helps out the getting out there, making people remember and things like that. So, alright guys. Like, favorite, subscribe, share this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.